Hi, this is Mike, and we're looking at the Bitcoin chart. So as you can see, we have broken down below that bottom part of that channel as per my previous idea, and it did react at that level, which is understandable. I just adjusted the count when I woke up this morning and basically noted that this was an A, B, C, D pattern with E having completed not too long ago. So this there was a retest before, I believe, wave three is starting. So it's clear of all hurdles except one. I believe it's just a little bit lower down here, which is the start of that previous move, which we've traded up. Is that level there about to be broken? I must also add that there would be this level of importance here at this point here, which is where it's actually fallen to. Because if you remember that previous trade, that's a wave E, right? So where it actually broke below was a confirmation area to confirm that price is more than likely not going to go any higher. Okay, not so much because this wave was like the last wave that was up here, but it's also just another level broken, another level of significance, I suppose. And the one beneath it as well will be the next target. So I think it's just reacting from obviously that level, and the one beneath it is on the way. So just at a smaller degree there, just to go through some of the waves again. So yeah, it was pretty hard to gauge it on the run, real time. I definitely had to wait for the processes to unfold. I did actually go short on this one here, but I also waited for a 50% pullback before I went short again to add to the position. And then I just had to wait all this time, which was a lot of ups and downs, but we never broke above the start of the first wave. So to me, that was good, in profit now. But that's just the beginning. Like if you understand the pattern that's coming, it's really nothing compared to where it's going. So if you followed along, you'd be in profit. I'm just training up my copy trading on a certain exchange which I'm partnered with now. So soon that'll be available. Details on my website. I'm not going to mention anything yet because I'm still basically trying to run up the numbers there to make it look good. So then, I can promote something that's already working, so that it's more interesting. But it's definitely using the same analysis that I use here. Another thing to note potentially is, given that this particular count is signaling the end of a wave two that started, when we had that initial move, where I went short. This here is now, in my opinion, a good place to move your stop down toward, and potentially add to positions if you're so inclined to do so. As a level of safety as well, to lock in some profits as well, in case something does go weird. You never know. These markets can pull funny moves sometimes. But once you get to this point, you sort of start to look at it with a bit of bearishness, as it does seem to me like this is just getting started. The way it broke that start of wave E in that impulsive manner and pierced that level, to me that's a sign that, yeah, price is going to go much, much lower. So there your stop would be 22286, and the confirmation came when we broke 21943. Now obviously that's on the Binance chart, depending on which platform you're trading with. That's different. For me, it's fair desk. So, um, it doesn't matter what chart you're using. You always got to check the price to make sure that it's right on the platform. That's just a given. Doesn't matter which platform you're using or exchange. So for me, from this point on, like, what's it going to look like moving lower here? So if we're about to see a third of a third wave, now what does that mean? Are we going to see something that goes the whole way through, or are we going to see this move down in stages, right? So the first thing I'd got to say here is more than likely we're going to see a wave one down. Okay, so let's just take a comparison here with the move that we saw down from this level here, right? So this is the first part of the move. Okay, so you can see that here we moved down in 5 waves, and you could see that at the beginning you had, like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. It's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with all the subdivisions in between. Now that there is like where we are now compared to that there. I mean, you got to think about how much it's actually fallen. It hasn't fallen much at all, right? It's actually fallen a very small amount. If I start this, if I hold the line here and I move it down, we haven't really seen wave one yet. And how will that look in the grand scheme of things, right? In terms of, how it's going to fall. Is the first part of the move going to be the strongest part? For example, down here on this wave, you had wave 5 that looks like the strongest, right? Wave 3 was still sharp, but wave 5 really, you could really see the red in that, right? And the sharpness. So what's going to happen here is it could be something that quickly slams down to break this low, because you never know. Markets tend to want to, stop run. Okay, so a lot of stops will be down at these levels here, right? So down at 15,500 area, right? At the lows, 15,479 here, right? And you've got to think, well, what's that all about? Yeah, it's probably going to want to come down and slam that area pretty quick. So we might see, wave one potentially be long and nasty with a bit of a pullback for wave two. Okay, so the first point of call here would be, in my opinion, to wait for wave one to appear, right? And then after wave one, wait for a pullback, wait for the correction. Obviously when you start to see 5 waves down, you take your profit, okay? Because more than likely you're going to get a correction. Okay, you wait for that correction to happen, and then you go for wave 3, right? And then so on and so forth, right? Alternatively, you can just wait out the whole thing. It's totally up to you how you trade, but having the idea in mind that this is the type of move that we are expecting, you can formulate your trading accordingly depending on your goals. So for me, if I'm looking to take profit on scalps for various reasons, obviously to lift up my trading volume, to increase my trading volume, then I obviously would want to take profits at every chance I can after a move is looking pretty complete and looking pretty decent, right? Now, how do you stop that from happening where you take a trade off too early and it keeps going? Well, you can always just wait for the correction, right? Because these corrections are likely shallow, right? Wait for the correction and then at that point, take your trade off and put it back on, adjusting your size or whatever. Okay, that type of thing. But like I said, you'll be able to copy trade me soon if you're not really into analyzing and all that sort of thing. If you want to learn it, you know what to do. I teach it. I made it, AriasWave. But for now, let's just follow this along and see how it goes, how it progresses, moving forward. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.